Welcome to the Shack. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and we're all set to add some shade to our leaves that we doodled on Monday. Come on in. Let's see if the chat is working. Stuart's in the room with you good people today. So if you have any questions, then he's the man to answer them. And I'm just driving the bus. So we started on Monday, didn't we? Drawing a leaf, and we shall continue. But let's see if anybody's there first before we start. And I must turn my phone to silent, which I forgot to do because I'm waiting for a call from the vet. Yeah. Speaking of vets, who's behind me? Look. Ah, check him out. Good morning, Jacqueline. There you go. Look, that is one tired cat. Sound is good. Thank you, Stuart. There he is. And the chat, it looks to me like the chat is repaired. I can see what you're saying. Come on in. Marion, grüß dich, liebe Freundin aus Deutschland. So we've got Marion in Germany. Einen schönen guten Morgen wünsche ich dir auch. And we've got Nahid and Jill Wilding. Good morning, everyone. Nice to have your company. And Ragnar's with us too. Eric not doing so well. So we got a bit of a situation with Eric, and he's been staying at the vets all week. That broken leg is, there's something wrong with his foot. So he's staying at the vets in the cat hotel, and they're keeping an eye on him. And I think his brother really misses him, which is why he's in with me, because he was meowing outside the door. He's a bit clingy, you know. But that's okay. He's good company. And I didn't want to disturb him, so I left him on the chair, and I dragged another chair in to sit on. I didn't want to take him off the chair. I wonder if I move him. I don't want to move him. See if he won't wake up. Hey, there he is. There you go. There. What a beautiful little tiger, eh? That way I can keep an eye on him behind me, and you can see him too. So yeah, steady, Jill. I know, poor little pussycats. He's all right. This too shall pass. But I shall be on the phone to the vet straight after the shack. Anyway, how are you? Hey? On Monday, I was saying, you know, this too shall pass. And so I was really enjoying the fact that mum is fine and dad is fine, the cats are fine, you know. And I said, and I know that this too shall pass. But I was enjoying the good bit because it passes. Just as everything does, doesn't it? So the good bit passed, and now dad's got a bad chest infection. The cat's in the cat hospital, and it's like, meh. So round we go, and now we're on the bit of a downhill. But once again, this too shall pass, you know, and it will, and that's life. That is life, my friends. Cheers. So come on in and let's get some doodling started. Small group today, I see. 63, where is everybody? Don't you like my leaves? I thought they came out really well. Don't get notifications anymore, so just found you. Oh, I wonder why you're not getting notifications anymore. Stuart's the right man to talk about that with. That might explain why there are relatively few of us. Having said that, though, 67 in the building, that would be a lot of teacups. 67, eh? It'll be all right. I'm not worried about that. The good people and the important people are here. There we are. Yeah, so how are you? Everybody okay? 1st of December. I know. How did that happen? Oh, hello, cat. 1st of December. I know. December already. Don't tell me. You've already done all your Christmas cards. All your presents are all wrapped. Don't do that. Don't tell me that. Hey, I haven't started. I had this bright idea that everybody was going to get pottery this year. That's a labour-intensive job. That's far more challenging than popping up to John Lewis's and buying everybody something. Trying to do it. Look, see, I haven't been getting my notifications for a while now. Please send a link. Morning, Ken. Yeah, sorry to hear about my dad too. Listen, Stuart, you're the man, and Jim's sitting right next to you. Try and find out why our friends aren't getting the links. Might be a good idea. Okay, so let's have a look at where we were and then we can crack on, shall we? So a little recap and then we'll have a look. So we started by using craft card. It was quite a simple one, this, wasn't it? Let's check it out. So we started with the craft card. There we are. We used like a 5x5. I had to go larger because I went a little bit too big on the... And then we got some tracing paper, right? And we drew round something round, didn't we? We drew around something round. So I'm just looking for mine. There we are. So I drew around that. And then which side did we draw on? Probably, I don't know, I can only tell from my drawing. If the drawing's that way round, we drew this way, right? And then we took that and we flipped it and we transferred it onto a piece of craft card, right? So this was, wait, don't lose me masterpiece. So this was where we ended up. Do you remember? We transferred it. Actually, this is where we are going, where we're headed. This was the one that I used. Then we transfer it. So you draw it on that side, flip it over, transfer it to a piece of blank, right? Decide where you want it, what you could do it at that angle, whatever angle you fancy, right? Transfer the pencil marks to here. Once you've got the pencil marks, then enter the white, where's my white pencil? My little white pergolina pencil. And then we just started building up the colour, didn't we? On the outside here, like so. Bear with me a minute. I just need to turn off the, let me just silence my computer because it's, there you go. It's pinging. Ping, ping. Did you hear it? It's all right. It's an apple. Right. So that's what we did. And then that's how far we got, wasn't it, with this one? So you can see everyone's an original. When I did it live with you, I went a bit larger. Went large. So that's why I had to go with a larger piece of card. But it doesn't matter. It's absolutely no consequence. This might work really nice if I use, nicely, adverb, if I use an embedder. So that's where we're at. And now we're going to go from that to that. Because when we look at this one, it's flat, isn't it? Very flat, in fact. There you go. 2D. It's nice. It's all right, but it's flat. And when we look at that one, it looks as if it's going to be lifted off the page, like you could get your fingers in under that. And that's just, it's just about shading. And what I'm going to show you is it's really dark in here, right? The further down you go with your depth here, the more you'll lift that off the page. And you'll see that I'm not coming here, I'm putting the shadow away. I'm lifting the shadow away from the leaf. Do you see? So that's what we're going to do as well. Yeah, but the truth is, the further, I don't want to use a pencil, I want to use a dark grey. We'll get to it. I don't want to spoil me work. But that's the trick. The secret is that the darker, the further down you go with the depth here, with the dark colour, the more that will lift off the page. You can see what I'm getting at, can't you? There's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to add the grey. So who's doodling along with me? 99 in the room. That's better. They're finding us. They're finding us. We need to make it easier for our friends to find us. No notification, but found you. Ah, I wonder what happened there. Sometimes links just, it's not a human error. Sometimes things are updated, or whatever we use is they update stuff and then it just clicks off, you know. And then we have to rely on you to tell us so that we can reinstall it. But there you go. It's all right. You found me. Now, let's start on the shading, shall we? So we've got our recap. We know what we're doing. Let's have a look. And we're going to add the depth. That's a cool idea. So let's add the depth. What we're going to use, I suggest, ich schlage vor, that we're going to use the greys in the polychromos. Light grey, medium grey, dark grey. Lots of different greys going on here. I like that warm grey beige. This little pack of 12 pencils is invaluable. the polychromos. I mean, if you can afford to buy a tin of 60, happy days, you know. But this will definitely do the job. So what we're going to do before we even start, we'll just take our warm beige and we'll just put a little, let's go as far out. There we go, look. Just put a little bit of shadow like that all the way out. Just so that we understand if the light's coming from here, you see that all right? Just a haze. There you are, look. Let's call it a little bit of a shimmer, a haze. Just adds a little tiny, gives us a clue as to where we're going. You know, and you'll see the difference on this one is I've got lots more opportunity to make shadows like that. That's all right. It's just as nice. You know, you can make a fantastic, there, look. So you can see I'm thinking, what I'm doing is I'm thinking where the shadow would fall. If this were a leaf on the ground, then the shadow would be there, the shadow would be there, the shadow would be down there. Do you see what I'm doing? But I'm doing it so lightly that you can almost, it's almost indiscernible. Get the shadow going in there. And this leaf, it would probably be a little bit further over here. There you go. So we just give ourselves, get our eye in and get an idea of where the shadow is going to be. You can go right down, look, like that. And you can come right down here, do a little bit down there as well. That'll do. There. All on that side. You see? That'd be nice. Right, so we've done that. Now let's go to a light grey. I'm going to go with this one here. What have we got here? Cold grey 3. All right, that'll do. So now let's get started. This takes time, but it doesn't have to take all day, right? So what we're going to do now is where we just went with the light pencil, we're going to start introducing the light grey over the top, really gently. We're not going to press hard. Look, you see what we're doing? We're just building up, but the shade is here, not attached, right? We're just going to come down here. Can always go back in and add more, but let's get that illusion of real depth going away. See, I'm avoiding the tips, and the reason I'm not coming in too close yet is because I want you to see from a distance. Right, there you go. Look. So I'm going like that. I'm cross hatching. I'm going like that, really lightly, going like that. See? Then I'm going like that. So I'm cross hatching. And you may say, well, I can't see anything. It's there. Here we go. So we'll just put a bit down here as well. Go like that. And then cross hatch. Okay. See, we're so used to when we do drop shadows, we take our pen and we really kiss the edge, don't we? And we will in a minute. But at the moment, we just want to get that. There you go. Look, that will come down like that. Light's coming from here. So let's see if we can really get the illusion of it popping. Right, now let's come in a bit closer. As we get darker and darker, we'll come in closer and closer. So you can see where I'm headed with this, right? Obviously, most of the work is in this area here, isn't it? This area here. So let's get that colour going. And one thing you just got to remember all the time, you can't, as long as you don't press too hard, if you don't like what you've done, your pink eraser immediately will take it all out again. We can go in there and we can take out, you see what I mean? You can really, if you think you went in too far, just knock it out, knock it back with the pink rubber afterwards. So don't feel that you've put too much down, because you could always lift it back again, right? Okay. So the next thing we want to do is go in with a medium colour. Let's go in with a medium colour and see what we've got. Right. How's that cat doing? Is he still asleep? Let's have a look. Oh, I've got company today. Fast asleep. He's missing his brother. He's missing his brother. They know, don't they? They know there's something not right. Cats are so intelligent. Right, so now I'm going to warm grey 4. We've got warm grey 4, or we've got warm grey 5. I'll go with warm grey 4, build it up gradually, okay? So now what we're going to do, so say we've come all the way out here. Now we're not going to come that far this time. And let's start concentrating a bit more. Right, here we go. So now we're going to be a bit more exact around here. Okay. So what I'm doing, if I take a piece of white paper, I'll show you. Ace of pseudo-platinus. Right, so you can take a bit of grey like that, and then you're pressing hard, and then you lift off. You're pressing hard, and then you lift off. You're pressing hard, and then you lift off. So that's what you're doing. And when you go back, you just keep adding a bit more, see? But rather than, I could do that straight away, but the trouble with that is that it's difficult then to get a blend going, and it's too dark to begin with. Much better to work in layers, just like in parchment, see? Just keep going back, and then you just blend it out. And the trick is to learn how to press so lightly that it disappears. Right? This is more forgiving than white. It's another good reason to be using craft card. Right, so here we go. So we're going to do that like that. Let's just concentrate on one area. So you're in there, and then you're going to pull out. So you go in and then pull out. Go in and then pull out. We're not going as far now though. See? So you're going in and then you pull out. Let's go around this area here. So we're going to put a little bit of shadow around this side here. See, a lot of this is quite dark, so don't be too ginger. But you see how I'm building up the colour? There we go. Round we go. Okay. Trick is to not press too hard and build up your layers. Right. And when we go in with a darker colour, a darker grey, that's when we'll get the depth. So this is where we establish where we're actually going, right? So you've got different choices when you're colouring. You can do that. You can crosshatch, which is when you go in one direction and then you go in the other direction. You can feather when you go like that, right? And you flick outwards. So if you want it to be darker here, then you just flick from there and you go that. You can do that. That's flick. That's easy enough, right? You can do that. Or you do little circular motion. You could colour in like that. Trouble is with that, see, that's a way of doing a solid area, right? But what we're doing is, I think we're better off going like that and then lifting off. Go like that and lift off. Go like that and lift off. That's how we're going to handle this, right? So you're going to go like that and lift off. Just keep adding, just gently keep adding. Build it up. Here we go. Takes a little time, but we'll get there. Right, round we go. Okay. How are you doing anyway? Okay. Right, now let's get that shade going. Let's come in here now. Let's do a little bit round here. And you'll find, even if you go over the white it's like a seal. Okay. So Stuart has posted a little instruction which would help with notifications. So maybe you could look at in the chat if you're not getting notifications but you'd like to, then see what Stuart said. Yeah, because he's the person that deals with these things. So it's perfect that he's there for us today. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. So we're going to come up this side now. Right, bit of feathering. Stay away from the tip of the, see, just stay away from the tip. So we're going in here, in there, in there, in there. When we get to the top part, of the leaf. We're staying away from the tip. Yeah? We're not going to kiss the curb on that one. Just flick out like that. Flick out like that. And then down here it gets a bit darker. So we can really... But because we laid down that other colour first, the lighter greys, what you'll find is the grey, the dark grey, it automatically gets lighter. It's like a kind of a resist, isn't it? You'll see. I mean, like I always say, there are no experts in this building. You know, I learn as I go. You know I do. I'm just learning as I go, same as you. It's the way to do it, isn't it? It's going to work though. So we're just going to layer down. Right. If your pencil, if you feel you're not actually making much of a difference, right, it could be that your pencil's sealed itself. If that's the case, you've got two choices. You can either take one of our stumps, just do that, and that will stop the sheen, you know, because you're compressing the pigment, aren't you? Same with this. If you press too hard, there you go, straight away. If you press too hard, you compress the pigment and it creates a kind of a shiny, waxy barrier, an oil barrier, which works as a resist, like we've done on the white. But if you keep going up, look, see how much darker it is now? Because I just roughed up the surface. I've got a bit more purchase on the pigment. Look, straight away, big difference. There you go. So I thought, cool, a lot of work here and nothing's happening. There we go. So let's come down into that bit a bit. Have a look. And let's come into there. The thing about this particular kind of shading trick is it takes time. It takes time. This will not happen immediately. Now let's add a little bit of shadow here. There we go. See, this is where the light's coming down. So in order to get a real feel of three-dimensional effect, I don't really add anything up there, see? It's all down here. You got it? So we're going to stick to this side. And on this side here, maybe this is curling up, but the tip isn't really curling up. So it's okay to sort of stay on the edge now, like this. On Sunday, I've been getting ready for the TV show on Sunday 3 to 5. And it's all about shading and layers and building scenes. And I want to show you one of the pieces of artwork that I've been working on, because I've been getting to grips with we've got some new build a scene masks, okay, and they are so delightful. I want to use them for ideas for the centre, because there's so many possibilities. But I want to show you, I do want to show you. We'll have a break. Let's get a couple of layers there. But you can see it's starting to come, isn't it? Starting to come. Okay. And the other thing is, yeah, here we go. The other thing is, of course, that it all depends on the pencils that you use. And if you've only got a lead pencil, if you've only got an HB, then it will be a lot faster. And you have to, if I was only using an HB pencil, for example, to do this job, then you'll get it, it'll be dark much, much faster. But you've got to do a lot of control with the amount, how hard you press. Okay. So you'll see it's instantly going dark, isn't it? Right. But then when I come out here, I've got to really go easy. But that's a good exercise, you know. See? So don't think, oh, I haven't got the 12 polychromos, I can't join in. Of course you can. There you go, HB pencil. Same thing, but look how I'm holding it. So I'm literally like almost levitating. See how it's working now though? So I'm getting in tight now on that edge. I just want to get a bit of a result so that you can see where we're headed with this job. See, so you want to come down this area here so that it looks like it's curling. You don't want to go over the white. Okay. Round we go. Should be working. So I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday. I was working on demonstrations for the Sunday show. Sorry, I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing. Right, there you go. See? It's coming now, isn't it? Best thing for you can use a blending pen. Of course you can, right? Let's use a blending pen to smooth out the shading if you want to. Look. And what you're doing is you're grabbing that graphite or pigment and you're moving it into the other area. See, so you can, but it smooths it out really nicely too. And because we've got that white wall where we created it's good, isn't it? It's not hard. You've just got to get the graphite down or get the, here we go. Is it starting to look like it's lifting off yet? Not quite. Takes time. This is a building game. There we go. Let's have a look. So we go like that. Yeah. So I thought we'll do a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more. Yeah, you're starting to see it now, aren't you? So and also, as you do it, you think, oh, hang on a minute, that looks a bit weird. That's better. I needed to come in there a little bit, otherwise it's a bit strange. So I can do this with this pencil, like that, right? Or I can do it with the grey. See, I'm a big fan of these greys. You build it up gently. Here we are. So we're going to get in there. So we're blending, we're mixing, we're darkening. Looks really good, doesn't it? Right, let's have a look. What else have I got? See? So you've got that area there. This is the dark bit, isn't it? It really shows, right? So keep going. I thought we could do this until past, then have a break, stretch our necks, because you need to stretch your neck. Otherwise, you're going to make your neck hurt, right? Because you're always looking down, not looking up. This would be good. So, are you ready for Christmas? Are you looking forward to Christmas? It's getting there, isn't it? Yeah. See how it's starting to work? See? So this one here seems to be in the wrong direction a little bit. I feel it's pinging out that way too much. It needs to probably come down a bit more. So that's not a problem. Hey, little cat. Look. He's up. Let me see if I take that. He's all right. He's all right. Let's have a look. If I want to redirect that shadow, because it's all a bit, yeah, let's redirect this one a bit. Take that out. I just feel that might be better served coming back down this way a bit. Doesn't look quite right there. Let's bring this down here. You all right? Yeah, you're all right. Not happy? Right, see, so we bring that down there. Yeah, there we are. That's better. Okay, so now I think we need to add a little bit more around this area. Bring it out a bit more. Just building. I bet you've done 3 already and I'm still faffing about with my first one. It's the way I roll, friends. So you could actually just, if you just put a little tiny bit around there. There you go. Not so much up here. Maybe a tiny bit around there. That looks quite good. Right, now, how about let's go radical. You ready? Payne's Grey, my favourite colour. It's like a bluey black. Now this time we're going in, right? and we're going to start defining. So let's just add a bit more depth and come into the center a bit. There we go. So it's the same thing, but this time let's just stay a little bit closer to the actual leaf. I mean, really, I'd probably do the center, do the artwork in the middle before I did all this shading. That would be my... But I just thought, no, let's get for the sake of the shack, I thought, let's get a template going. Let's get this shadow idea going, that we can lift this up a bit. Right, so we're staying in that area, you see? So it's starting to work now. Now let's get round here. Kiss that leaf. Kiss the leaf in there. It's going to work, isn't it? Now let's come round here and let's create a shadow, right, around here. Kiss that leaf. Kiss that leaf. Start flicking it round there. And let's see if this works, shall we? Hey? Good. There. Now let's get this going. So you just bounce between the light and the dark, see? There we go. I feel we need a bit more in there. Highlights and lowlights, hey? And in there. There you go. So I love this kind of attention to detail. It's working now, see? And the more you... It's having the... I won't say courage, there's no courage, only a bit of paper. But it's like having the confidence, not courage, to come out this far with a light colour. And you'll see where, you see, you could come right out like this, look. Make it go like that. See, so the shadow's really coming out a long way, which is why I was encouraging you to use the really light grey to begin with. See? You can always rub it out afterwards, but what it does is it lures you out with the, rather than just kissing that edge and not moving off the edge. Because we're all good at going in here and just sticking on that. Look, we're all good at that, aren't we? Nobody's got any problems with sticking close to the edge and just adding. We can all do that, which is nice because it really adds the finishing touch, but it's having the confidence to come out further from the line art. That's all it is. It's just building that confidence to come out a bit further. There we go. And the other thing I think the other thing I think is that you have to stop and look at what you're doing and then ask yourself, have I done too much? Do I need to take a little bit away again? See, I might be, it's a whole image, isn't it? I think maybe I need a bit more light here. See? That's working. Let me hold it, let me put it to this camera. This camera is the one that lets you know that it's working. See? This is the camera that lets you know it's working. So if this is correct, then you can see that really this needs to be facing in that direction. So I can change the flow of the pen, right? Like that. There you go, the pencil. That definitely needs to be, so they're all going in the same direction. This would be good. All right? And then up here, now looking at the camera, see, I'm looking at the camera now rather than at the work. And I can see where I should go, where I can add a bit more. Do you see what I'm doing? So I'm so lucky that I've got this camera that I can look at. But I think this is quite good, you know. There you go. That's quite good, Barbara. Let's get some shade down there. What about on that side there? That'd probably work, wouldn't it? Yeah? Let's get that grey in. And what I'll do is it's past, so let's have a break and then we'll come back and we'll really see, because then what you do is you sharpen and you start adding real little accents like depth. Okay, you can do that afterwards. And you'll see that makes all the difference too. But you need a sharp pencil for that. So let's just stop for a minute. Oh, it's so addictive, isn't it? I love this sort of work. Let me stop and stretch. Still got a cat with me. Oh, I like that. I like that. I think one of the best things to come out of lockdown for us was Ragnar and Eric, you know, and yeah, absolutely little miracles. So let me just see. What I wanted to show you is what's going on Sunday, because these are kind of masks, and if the camera were, I'd like to show you, because if you they're a new idea. We've had masks before, but these are a new idea, and I want to show you. For example, I did show you the leaves. Right, this is the one that I used in the. So we've got these. We've got the leaves here. Let me just pan out a little bit. And these are the things that I'm going to be highlighting on Sunday, 3 to 5 on Create and Craft. So we've got these 6 leaf shapes, apertures. This one is the one I used to do the prep, but you've got ivy, you've got sycamore, got birch, you've got beech, holly, and there's another maple. So there are 6 altogether. I've just got a spare here. But you know that you can use the inside and the outside. So I used, for a piece of artwork that I'm going to show you, and you'll see it's totally in keeping with what we're doing in the shack, I used the outside, because the positive and the negative are just as important. You get the best artwork with both, don't you? So what I want to show you, right, is, right, so here we go. We've got that outside, and then we got these. So when you look at these, at first glance, you think, well, build a scene at the sea. Build a scene, trees and meadows. Build a scene, Black Forest, Schwarzwald. Build a scene, hills and clouds. This is interesting. See that? If you saw that on a mask, you'd think, yeah, well, they're weird looking clouds, right? Here's another set of these are another set of clouds or hedges. That to me is clouds, that to me is hedgerow, right? So you've got, this is Tuscany, look, with the poplar trees, with the hills and the leaves, right? Little house, trees. This is a great one for, look, like a lighthouse, yeah? Apple trees, great. When you start to look at the detail in these, so you've got these, there are 5 of them. You've got at the sea, trees and meadows, black forest, hills and clouds. Right, so let's just pull the hills and clouds to the top, so I'll show you what I did. So I've got that one, that one, that one. Now, where's that piece of artwork? Right, here we go. So let me show you the artwork, and then you'll see. Right, now, this is using that. It's using the outside. So let me come in a little bit so you can see it better. Right. So now we've used the outside to protect the white, clearly. Then on the inside, right, all of that, and the little house. In fact, this whole landscape is using the mask. You see, you put the mask in, you've covered up the background, and then you just use the mask. And all I've used is a Distress Oxide ink pad and a spot on sponge. And then you just, and I'll show you on Sunday, right, 3 to 5, I'll show you how to get this effect. But the thing about these masks, and this is the magic of them, right, these are so good to use, right? The thing about the masks is you can move them along. So you're using this, but you use that bit in the aperture, then you move it across and that bit's there. Then you move it this way and you'll see this is there. So you just move the mask around. and you create your own landscape. That's why they're called build a scene. The same with the hill, the same with the little house. So you can see, for example, this hill here is from one of these. It's from somewhere, right? So when I lift this out, for example, in case you're wondering what a mask is, let me just show you. If I just come in there, right? So you've got two clouds. You've got the cloud that the positive and the negative, always, right? So you obviously I've used this one here. Let me just grab hang on a minute. Sometimes the cut's a little bit, yeah. Just got to take, sometimes you just got to find it. It's quite fine. There it is. Right. So I've taken, for example, this one, right? Let's say, if the cut's not all the way up, you've got to go easy with these because they're reusable, okay? But you could see that there is there. Do you see it? And then there's one in the background there. So maybe I've just shuffled along a little bit, and then I've done the same again there. So then I've put a little bit more of the ink in, just smeared it out, right? Then I've moved along a little bit, and where's that one there? There. See, so I've gone to there, and I've smeared a bit further. And then there's that big bubbly one, so I've come along to here. So in that one strip, you've got all these different, so it doesn't look like you're doing the same thing. There's that one there, see, along the bottom. Then possibly for that hill, this is what I wanted to show you. I possibly turned it round. There you go. And I used, so now this time though, I wanted it white along there. So instead of using that bit, I went to the next part. So you build a scene with that. So now I'll put that one back, right? And then I'll lift this one out. So now I'm going to take this one. Okay, again, just break it off at the edge. So now I've got this one, and I've got to protect the clouds. So I'll go like that, and I'll look somewhere along here. I'll just use any bit I want to make a hill or something like that, right? And then the house, okay, is there. So you can see I've covered everything else up, and then I've gone in dark. And all the time, the leaf, it's not complicated, this. It's really not complicated. It's a total simple process. And hour for hour, pound for pound, the mileage that you get out of these, okay, and the little flower elements here, these are in another set. So, and they're beautiful. But what I'm saying is, that one would be brilliant to use. This one would be lovely to use. That one would be great, just not so busy around the outside, you see. And we've got the same, I haven't quite finished. You know, with the shading, I want to come down a little bit further. If you look at the shading, okay, you can see that if I want to create more of a lift underneath, I need to go in darker here. But it's a nice technique, and it's only using makeup sponges and the masks and a bit of ink, one ink pad. So I'm really happy because it's the essence of clarity, this kind of thing. You know, this is really where we're at. And when you look at the mileage, the number of masks in one set and the number of outers, and for goodness sake, don't think for a minute that you have to put the scenes, you know you don't have to put the scenes inside a leaf. The thing is that I've only got like 10 minutes to demonstrate it on telly. So I have to pull as many different products and different ideas into one demo to show you, oh, well, this is the outer, this is the inner, this is how you can frame it, this is the other. You see what I mean? So I wanted to show you those. And then the other thing with this, again, having to highlight, what you're doing all the time is you're shining a light on different products. So I've shown you the leaf, I've shown you the clouds, which is part of that other set, right? So now we are using the leaf apertures, the builder scene mask. And then we've got these ones, the Woodland collection. And these are so superb. You see the little flowers here? The detail on these is insane. If I take this away, okay, right, see those little flowers? So they're sticky. So I could put them at the bottom and then I definitely would recommend you smear up, right, with ink. But then you would get really beautiful, like a blue sky, and it would be white. Now, there was a really lovely piece of artwork that here we go. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm getting carried away now, but I want to show you this so that you understand. If I show you this one, right, this is Dee's work, right? Look at Dee's. See the white? That is that. Look, you see? It's beautiful. So you put the girls in place. See in the background? See the beautiful? So that in purple, okay. Here's my version of it. I mean, I just think these are beautiful. Look at that. Okay. So this piece of that, right, is there. Look. See, remembering you've still got the leaf mask in place. So you pop that there and then you go black. And then you have a look and you want to put another little bit in there. So you look along and then you go, oh yeah, that'll do. Then you put that in there and then you just put a black in there as well. And that, my friends, is how it's constructed. So if I run out of time, and you know I will, I'm sure I won't even get down to the house. But I just wanted to explain that this is how the clouds are built up. And it's all because when you look at these great big long lines of Mars, you think, what's the purpose of all this? What's the purpose of all that with a couple of trees at the end? Well, the purpose is that you shuffle the masks along, and you can get an inordinate number of mix and match ability going on. It's brilliant. Okay, so there you go. That was what I wanted to show you. And the cat's not even slightly interested. He's still fast asleep. Sparko. Yeah, so there you go. It doesn't take too long. It took me nearly as long to decide what colour paper, the companion paper. See, I think that colour just works like a charm, don't you? And then I spent another age thinking, well, let's have a look. I love these. See, including products. Like the design, a little bit tight. Yeah, so I didn't rejected that one. Then this one, bit busy. The style's not right, so I've rejected that one. And then this one, lovely. I like that one. I like that. That looks good. If you wanted to do it, or you keep it simple and you just use an embedder. You see that? You could just use an embedder. So I'm showing you this. Let's have a look. There, you can see the embedders. There. Yeah, so there you go. Now you know what I'm doing on Sunday. And you lucky people saw it first. These are still being cut and made as we speak. But I hope you like them. The mileage is quite something. You know, when you start to shuffle those lines along. Lisa and I worked on this together. Really nice, really nice. So there you go, breaks over, stretch, stretch, stretch. And now we'll continue. So let's have another look. Let's go in for another little layer. And what we're going to do now is just bring that darkness down. See, and what you'll see is as you bring this darkness down, it will start to lift more and more. Let's just have a game. If I turn this round like that, right, and I bring that grey down, 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 just keep bringing it down, what you'll see is it starts to lift. It's the strangest optical illusion. As you come round here, right, like that, it will lift higher and higher. There you go. And in there, and in here. So the darker it is in there, and the further you come down, the more it will look as if it's lifting. Do you see? There you go. Let's get dark in there. And then we'll lift it out. Feather it out. Excuse me. There we go. And out we come. So I think this is a really good exercise in shading. And I think when you see the finished like that, you think, yeah, I really want to have a go at that. It's just one of those things you want to try, isn't it? So this is where we're at the moment. It's working well. We can see that. And then the blending pen. These are coming. We've got the nibs. I mean, if you can work with a nib without a look, that works fine, right? But these are coming too, which I'm really, really happy about. Believe you me. So once we've done that, right? There we go. That's quite good. That really looks like a. So you just step away from where you're working, and then you can see it. Yeah. It's coming now. Right. Now let's take that black, the dark Payne's grey, not black, because it's quite a good point. It's got quite a good point on it. I don't think I need to sharpen it. I think I just need to, let's get a bit of a point going. That'll do. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to, let's highlight. So as you come round, I'm pressing quite hard now and I'm using, there we go. This will work, watch. So you get in there and you just accentuate that bit there. See how it, there we go. So just tight, really tight to the edge, but also, there you go. So it needs to be sharp or it won't work so well. There you are. Quite good. Round we go. Okay. Yeah. There we go. And when we've done this, then the next trick, and this is something else that I was thinking about, you know, now you've done that, you've still got quite a lot of work to do up here. We haven't finished this bit. But then, if we wanted to, we can add trees. We can add long Christmas trees. We could do a Christmas scene. There are so many options for the centre now, aren't there? And you know, if you look at those, the different possibilities, the ones that I just showed you. Oh yeah, that's a nice piece of artwork as well. Oh, they're all so nice. Okay, I'm surrounded by beautiful samples here, but you're going to have to tune in on Sunday to have a look. Let's keep going with this. There, that looks good. We're getting there now. So what I was saying was that those, these, right, they would actually give you some pretty good ideas like that, the little house, that's easy to draw. Come on, friends, you know, the tree. And if you weren't sure about drawing it, well, you know, or if you've got the mask, all you do is use the mask, pop the mask in place, do a bit of sponging, get it, you know, get the shape in. You know how this works, you know. So, for example, you could take, let's take that tree. Say I want that tree, right? So I take all that off like that. Oh, look, they're hanging on there as well. This is, there you go. See, so I take all these off like that. Just got to go gently with them because they are pretty delicate little things. Look, these are delicate little trees. And what you'll find is with these ones as well, I'm going to show you lots of tips. If you detack them before you start, because they're so thin, those trunks, they're gonna tear. They will tear, right? But it doesn't matter because you've still got the tree. I'm almost tempted to take them off anyway, right? So I don't lose them. Do you know what I mean? But these would be fantastic. You know, if you would just pretend you put them down like that, stick them down, and then just sweep the sky into place with a brush, you know, like with a stencil brush. But now, for example, I want that tree. I want this tree here, right? And I want to know, I want the shape of that tree. And I'm not sure how to draw it to get it right. So if I were to just take that tree and I want to put it here, for example, like that, right? And I'll set it down like that, and I can use it as a template, right? I could draw around it with a pencil. Just, you don't even have to use it as a mask. Just go around it like that, look. Just kiss that edge. If you wanted to put this tree in, let's just pretend. It should work, right? You only want the shape, don't you? Like that. I might make that trunk a bit thinner, but I've got my shape. There you go. So I've got my shape. Great tool, you know, great working tool. These little fellas, you definitely want to detack before you start using, because they are, or, well, me, I'd probably cut them off before I even start, because otherwise I'll lose them. Right, so I've got my tree now, there, like that. And I've got that, and I know where my shape is. I've got a lovely shape that I'm happy with. See? I've got a lovely shape there. I like that. And I don't want more than that. So I've got my tree, and I've got my my hills, and perhaps here's an interesting thing, right? The other side, let's just pretend I want those two trees. I'm taking the most challenging mask to show you this. You know that we can draw these. We can draw these trees easily. Why is that? See, you're seeing the real deal here. If you just pull that off there, because these are prototypes as well. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to take these bits and leave those bits behind. Now, I'm never going to have time to do this on telly. I know I'm not. But say I want those little trees now on my hills like that. I want them there. Okay. I'm definitely going to detack this though, friends, because otherwise it might lift the card with it. So you can use your apron or your skin or whatever. Right, like that. You could draw it. I want that little one there, see, in the background. I'm going to go like that. There. Make sure it's straight. Take my little pencil. And now I'm going to draw him in. See, so you've got not only a mask, I could make this solid black as well if I wanted. I could make this a solid black tree just by masking off the area and then squishing black ink through it. You know I can. But maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe it's easier to do it with a pencil. So there you go. I'm just explaining, detacking the masks. They'll last you ages if you look after them. I've got masks that I've used for years and I still go back to them. So now I've got my two trees in. That was all I wanted. There you go. They're in place. I've got one at the front. It's all about perspective. I've got my hill, which is nice. I've got that hill coming down there. We can sort that out as well. The only thing that's missing is a moon. A moon, isn't it? And so that's another fact, right, which is really interesting. In this particular set, we've got the mini moons. So you've got the large moons, but then you've got the mini moons. You've got these ones, see? Because you go through like a dose of salts. You just keep going through them. That's why we give you 6 of the same thing. These ones, see, when you're doing smaller landscapes, it's quite nice. How big do we want to go? Not ridiculous, like that, right? So now that's, I reckon that'd be nice. Or if I wanted, I could put it behind the tree. You see? I could put it behind the tree, or I could put it right up in the sky, out like off the moon, off the thingy here. It's up to me, isn't it? I could do what I like. I think I'll probably go there actually, just because I can. And then I'm going to use this as well as a template. Right, so that's the moon. So I've got my shape in for that. Now that needs to be white, so the outside, what we're doing there, you know, how are you gonna colour it in? The main thing is to get the shape in first. So I've got my lovely moon in the background, see? So that you draw around a 5p piece, which whatever you fancy. And now it's about putting your image in. So what do we want to do? I see, me personally, I like the idea of putting a white layer down, just as we did before. What's the time? 5 to 11 already. Oh gosh. That's all right though. Where's my small pencil? I did have one, didn't I? Where's my pencil gone? It's all right. I've got another one. So now, for example, I'm going to put my white tree in. There we go. Come on, we could do this. I'll put my white tree in. I'll put my white moon in as well. Okay, for sure. I'm going to go around the outside again like I did before. Okay, just like we did before. I've got my shape in. You can draw it, or you can wait till Sunday and wait for the masks, because they are rather special, right? Need to sharpen this though, because we want to get this really tight. And then when are we working together again? When are we on again together? Because Monday, let's have a look. I wonder where I put that pencil that I was using. No, do you know what? I'm going to call it a day and say, hang on. I need to just sharpen this pencil. And then, but I had a really nice sharp one and now I've lost it. That'll do. Right, sharp enough. We'll get together on Monday again, won't we? And what we could do on Monday is finish this, if you like. So you've got all weekend to work out your picture. What are you going to fill in? What are you going to use? See, the thing about this is we're putting white in, right? Because it's a white moon, it's a white scene. And then on Monday, we'll get the three-dimensional aspect of this going too. This is pretty, isn't it? So you've got white trees, it's snow in the sky. So you work out your trees, what you want to put in your scene, okay? And then on Monday, when we get together, we'll do a couple of little finishing tricks, okay? We'll put some snow in. I love this, don't you? And for those of you who can't draw, these masks are just perfect, see? Because they just give you, see, this is the magic. They give you the shape. Now, you may be able to draw a little tree like that. And if you can, then good. But if you can't, then what a great little tool. See? You do that. I know I'm rushing a little bit, but I want to see the moon is obviously going to throw light on this side of the tree and on that side of the tree. So then, if you feel, well, I probably put too much white in this side of the tree, well, then what we do is we just take it out, knock it back. Here we go. So you just knock it back on that side and you're starting to get the shade. Do you see? Bit of shadow in there. Isn't that lovely? We'll finish it on Monday, shall we? Should we put our finishing touches in on Monday? Cool, I could spend hours doing this. There we go. And getting that edge, put a really lovely white edge in. There. The story continues. The story continues. So it's 11 o'clock, time to call it a day. I hope that you enjoyed that. I got right into that, sorry. Let's finish it on Monday and then we'll just turn it into a beautiful piece of artwork. And do join me on Sunday. I'll see how many of those landscape tricks I can show you. Very, very beautiful possibilities, you know, and inexpensive, very inexpensive. Just lovely art. Okay, so Stuart, thanks very much for your help. And don't forget to look at what Stuart's posted about the links so we can send you information. And other than that, lots of love. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Lots of love. Thanks again, Stuart. Bye-bye now.